The following incidents unfolded on January 6, 2021 at the Capitol Building, Washington, D.C. Senator Jeff Merkley heard commotion outside the Senate chamber that sounded like a routine disturbance to the members inside, the kind of small-scale protest that often takes place at the Capitol. Then a Senate aide burst through a door into the chamber. As senators seated at their desks watched with surprise, the aide raced down an aisle towards the dais, where Vice President Mike Pence was presiding. Pence was shortly evacuated. Shortly after, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was ushered out of the chamber. Soon the House chamber was on lockdown as United States Capitol Police officers with guns drawn faced off against a violent mob intent on breaking in. The Capitol building in Washington, D.C. was placed under lockdown after hundreds of Trump supporters stormed the historic building and wreaked havoc in an attempt to stall the certification of the election results. Only a few dozen guarded the west front of the U.S. Capitol when they were rushed by thousands of pro-Trump demonstrators bent on breaking into the building. Armed with metal pipes, pepper spray and other weapons, the mob pushed past the thin police line, and one protester hurled a fire extinguisher at an officer. Capitol Police issued instructions to House lawmakers to shelter in place as they scrambled to find a safe way to get them out of the chamber. Capitol Police escorted lawmakers out and down a series of staircases to secure locations where they waited for the mob to be quelled. The mob breached the line moments later, and rioters soon broke into the building, taking over the House and Senate chambers and running wild in Statuary Hall. The Trump supporters stopped to take photographs and film themselves as they made their way around the building. Throughout the melee, police officers were injured, mocked, ridiculed and threatened. Through the late afternoon, a large crowd of Trump supporters remained lodged outside of the Capitol. Rioters attacked crews of journalists who were covering the events. One Capitol Police officer, Brian Sicknick, died Thursday night from injuries suffered during the riot. Another disturbing video shows a bloodied police officer screaming for help as he's crushed by protesters inside the Capitol building. Law enforcement authorities discovered suspected explosive devices outside of the offices of both the Democratic National Committee and the Republican National Committee, which are headquartered a few blocks away. Soon after, law enforcement officials were able to clear the building of rioters. The lawmakers, shaken but unperturbed, reconvened the joint session to count electoral votes from the presidential election.